Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Greensburg Chautauqua. Oh, we've got a treat for you today. Marc Gunn is a rhythm and folk musician inspired by Celtic culture, science fiction, fantasy, and cats. He breathes new life into the auto harp, which continues to surprise musical veterans and fans alike. He's won a ton of awards. He's an award-winning podcaster, and it is just an honor to welcome to little old Greensburg, Indiana, Marc Gunn. Thanks for being with us.
Thank y'all so much. Yes, my name is Marc Gunn, and I'm going to start by just playing a song. This is an auto harp, if you're not familiar with it, and if you are, great. Near to Bambridge town in the county down, one morning last July, down a boring green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. Well, she looked so sweet from her two bare feet, the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself to make sure I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Dedican, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met at the county down. As she onward sped, sure I shook my head and I looked with a feeling rare. Then I said, says I, to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. Well, he smiled at me and cried, says he, to Jim o'er Ireland's crown. She's young Rosie McCann from the banks of the Banks, the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Dedican, from Galway to Dublin town, oh, maid I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met at the county down. Dressing my Sunday clothes, with my shoes shone bright, my hat cocked right, for a smile from my nut brown rose. No pipe I'll smoke and no horse I yoke, the thrust my plow turns brown, till a smiling bride by my own fireside, the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Dedican, from Galway to Dublin town, oh, maid I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met at the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Dedican, from Galway to Dublin town, oh, maid I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met at the county down. Thank you so much. So, I am my name again is Marc Gunn. The instrument, of course, if you're familiar with it, is the auto harp, or not familiar with it. It is an old instrument based on the, I think it was about 1890s that it was first created. It's based on an instrument called the zither. You take off this part, and you have a zither, which is mostly a plucked instrument. Someone got together and decided to turn it into something that could, add a little bit of rhythm to it if you really wanted to. Not saying as many people have taken the auto harp and done with it what I do these days, but they've done a lot of amazing things with it. For me, I'm raised on Elvis Presley, and I started before I got into Irish traditional music and Scottish traditional music. I was getting into the rhythm thing was a very important thing to how I do things. So I started working with it, and I started developing all sorts of different styles that were very unique to me. Like this song. harp is an interesting instrument because there's 5 different octaves that you can play on this instrument. Not many people play the autoharp, and so it makes for a something that you get to experiment with. When I first picked it up, I didn't know how to play the autoharp. I didn't know what to do with an autoharp. I hadn't really seen anyone actually play the autoharp before. I just started messing with it and saying, what can I do with it? I walked down a dusty old road. I didn't know what I'd find or where I'd go. Tree limbs hung low and they blocked my view. I saw you through the branches and I wished I knew ya. You wrote your name on my soul and I feel like I'm out of control. You wrote your name on my soul, that's what it is, so I'll go with the flow. Other and in the shadows I'm sure I couldn't see. You stepped closer and your beautiful face looked up at me. I took your hand in mine and we wandered off down the road. It feels so right, it's like I've always known ya. You wrote your name on my soul and we laughed as I twirled you about. You wrote your name on my soul and held your breath as I touched your mouth. Through the wheels of time we traveled the globe. As we reeled through life, our adventures overflow. Our lovely crew, how I love it grew. How did you know I would be so in love with you? We walked in fields of green as high as our knees. Valley of love, we sat beneath the tree. Our lips were red from cherries and a long kiss. We lay there for hours to the stars, shone down in our tenderness. You wrote your name on my soul and I saw it in the constellations. You wrote your name on my soul and my blood is pumping elation. So usually in this part of the song is where I, including doing a solo of sorts, is I ask people to sing along. And it's a very simple part to sing along. It goes like this. Name on my soul, name on my soul, you wrote your name on my soul. That's what you sing, my soul. Name on my soul, name on my soul, you wrote your name on my soul. A little louder. Name on my soul, name on my soul, name on my soul, on my soul. Name on my soul. Keep it going, you wrote your name on my soul. I don't know what you did to me. You wrote your name on my soul, but it's all that I was meant to be. You wrote your name on my soul, and I'm happier than I've ever been. Name on my soul. You wrote your name on my soul, and our story will never, never end. Keep it going. Name on my soul, name on my soul, my soul. Name of my soul, name of my soul. You wrote your name on my soul. Name of my soul, name of my soul. My soul. Name of my soul, name of my soul. You wrote your name on my soul. Thanks so much. So that's a little bit of the rhythm that I have worked out over the past 20 some odd years playing the autoharp. The autoharp in itself is a very simple instrument to get started with because it's basically press a button and strum. Each button mutes all the notes that are not in a chord, and therefore it basically creates a chord. They're not in the chord, so it creates a chord. A very simple instrument to start playing. A little bit of challenge to get really good at. There are a lot of musicians, though, most auto harpers, what they do is they are more into playing melody. Not my strong suit. Again, rhythm is what I have, but it is something that you can do. Very fun instrument to really get playing. There's actually a guy I went to this auto harp gathering in California once, and this guy was just absolutely amazing. He could play any style of music on the auto harp. His name is Drew Smith. He was an old ad man from New York, and now he's taking the auto harp and now he's in like his 80s, and he will play just any sort of style, whether it's a tango, Bach, going to heavy metal if you really wanted to. He could do just anything. Rap. I think he could just pretty much anything. One of the songs that he brought to that festival was this beautiful song that was written in 1904, and he showed what you could really do with this song. And the song was written, again, it was written by for the music market back then, and it turned into this beautiful song called "Come Take a Trip on My Airship." So it was steampunk before steampunk was a thing. I love a sailor loves me. He sails every night to my home. He's not a sailor that sails across the sea or over the wild briny foam. Or he owns an airship that sails up on high. He's just like a bird on the wing. And when the shadows of evening draw nigh, he'll sail to my window and sing. Come take a trip in my airship. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride round Venus and come take a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing, no one to sleep while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship and we'll visit the man in the moon. Drifting away from the crowds, he passed through the milky white way. Just idly drifting and watching the clouds. He asked me if I named the day. Right near the dipper, I gave him my heart. The sun shines on our honeymoon. We swore from each other we never should part, and teach all our babies this tune. Come take a trip in my airship. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride around Venus, and come take a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing, no one to see while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship, and we'll visit the man in the moon. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride round Venus, and come take a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing, no one to see while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship, and we'll visit the man in the moon. Come take a trip in my airship. Come take a sail among the stars. Come have a ride round Venus, and come take a spin around Mars. No one to watch while we're kissing, no one to see while we spoon. Come take a trip in my airship, and we'll visit the man in the moon. Thanks so much. So I did get my start playing Irish music. That's how I got everything started with my music career. I started a band called the Brobdingnagian Bards, and we started putting our music up online, mostly for free, and then eventually it actually became pretty much free all over the place, now streaming and whatnot. But I fell in love with that medium, and as you said a moment ago, I got into podcasting. Podcasting was one of my methods of promoting my music. And since I was doing all these fun Irish songs, it really got me going, and I developed, turned this podcast into a tiny little thing into like the largest podcast of Celtic music in the world. The song I'm going to sing for you now is an old Irish street song called I'll Tell My Ma. I'll tell my ma when I get home, the boys won't leave, the girls will know. My hair and stole my comb, but that's alright till I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a court in 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Albert Mooney says he loves her, all the boys are fighting for her. They knock at the door and the ring at the bell saying, oh my true love, are you well? Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Johnny Morse says she'll die if she doesn't get the fellow with the rose and that. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a court in 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? Let the wind and the rain, the hail blow high, snow come tumbling from the sky. She's as sweet as apple pie, she'll get her own lad by and by. When she gets a lad of her own, she won't tell him off till she gets home. Let them all come as they will, for it's Albert Mooney that she loves still. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a court in 1, 2, 3, please tell me who is she? She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of Belfast City. She's a court in 1, 2, 3, please won't you tell me who is she? While Irish music was my start, the reason I started playing music in the first place was to become a songwriter. Like Elvis Presley. Little did I know Elvis Presley didn't write any songs. But nevertheless, I decided I wanted to write some songs. And one of the things I found that was the easiest way to really get started at songwriting was to take a song that you already know and trying to figure out a new way of telling in a different means. So I'm a big fan of geeky things, Star Wars, Star Trek, Firefly, Lord of the Rings, and The Hobbit. And years ago, when my youngest daughter was born, I wanted to write a song for her. And I wanted a song like that last one, because there aren't many songs like that last one. And I'll tell my mom, this is a great song. I was like, I gotta have a song like that. So I ended up writing one. And it turned into a fun song to sing as well. You'll notice the rhythm is similar, but pretty much I think I diverged a little bit. You can tell me what you think is similar or what not. I'll tell Bella under the party tree, let's have fun, come dance with me. If she won't dance, I'll ask Daisy, we'll skip till the sun comes up over the trees. Jump up and down, let your teeth gleam, shout your love now, 1, 2, 3. Sing a song down on one knee, she's the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen, the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen. The moon looks down on a hungry cheer, let's raid old Mungo's mushroom fields if we lose our way. The starry sky will chase young cunies to the broad daylight. Jump up and down, let your teeth gleam, shout your love now, 1, 2, 3. Sing a song down on one knee, she's the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen, the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen. We'll laugh and we'll eat our honey cakes as we roll in the grass down by the lake. The swan calls out, go home my friend, to the party tree we'll start again. Jump up and down, let your teeth gleam, shout your love now, 1, 2, 3. Sing a song down on one knee, she's the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen, the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen. I'll tell Bella underneath the party tree, let's have fun, come dance with me. If she won't dance, I'll ask Daisy, we'll skip till the sun comes up over the trees. Jump up and down, let your teeth gleam, shout your love now, 1, 2, 3. Sing a song down on one knee, she's the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen, the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen. Jump up and down, let your teeth gleam, shout your love now, 1, 2, 3. Sing a song down on one knee, she's the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen, the prettiest hobbit you've ever seen. You know, I don't know if anyone has ever heard the term filk before. Have anyone out there? Filk is something that started at science fiction conventions many years ago. The basic definition is it's the music of fandom. People who are fans about something, you write a song, it's basically called filk. And it started back in the 50s, in the 1950s, when someone was writing about folk circles happening at science fiction conventions, and they misspelled it from folk to filk, and it turned into a little funny thing. And then people started, adding all these, all different styles of music that became filk and whatnot. So years ago, I was attending a lot of these conventions, and I had just come back from a convention, and obviously I was doing lots of Irish songs and whatnot, and sea shanties, and all of a sudden, a song got stuck on my head, and next thing you know, I started meowing in the middle of this song, and this song came out. What shall we do with a catnip kitty? What shall we do with a catnip kitty? What shall we do with a catnip kitty early in the morning? Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. Put him in his cat bed to the stove, put him in his cat bed to the stove, put him in his cat bed to the stove early in the morning. Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. Put him back again when he jumps out, put him back again when he jumps out, put him back again when he jumps out early in the morning. Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. Touch him on the back and watch him jump high, touch him on the back, watch him jump high, touch him on the back, watch him jump high early in the morning. Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. Pry him off your bleeding shoulders, pry him off your bleeding shoulders, pry him off your bleeding shoulders early in the morning. Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. Put him in the bed of your sleeping father, put him in the bed of your sleeping father, put him in the bed of your sleep. Don't give me ideas early in the morning. Wave houses, wave houses, wave houses early in the morning. You should have seen your sleeping father, you should have seen your sleeping father, you should have seen your sleeping father early in the morning. Wave houses, wave out his hair like in the morning. He screamed like your little sister. He screamed like your little sister. He screamed like hair like in the morning. Wave out, wave out, wave out his hair like in the morning. That's she do with the catnip kitty. That's she do with the catnip kid. That's she do with the catnip kitty. Hair like in the morning. All right. I'm gonna go to do a Scottish song next. One of the joys I think of working with some traditional music is that you get to find these songs and you get to see where you can go with them, see if you can, how you can turn them into something new. One of the things so my podcast, the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast, I say it's celebrate Celtic culture through music. And there's so many ways to celebrate it, because there's the world has so many. I have a CD called How America Saved Irish Music, and the whole concept is that the Irish were forced out of Ireland. They went across the world, and then they came back, and the music had sort of changed, because all of a sudden all these influences from around the globe were happening. You know, like you listen to a lot of traditional Irish music, and there's a lot of rock guitar in there, and styles that you're like, oh, but they're very friendly, they're very fun, they're very engaging. And so you find ways to include that. This song that I'm going to do now is a Scottish song called the Mingulay Boat Song. And the song is it's a beautiful song as it is, even before I messed with it, but I gave it a little bit. I lived in New Orleans for a while, so I gave it a little bit of a New Orleans flair. She'll pick out at the end, I'm pretty sure. Hear your ho, boys, let her go. Bring her head round into the weather. Feel your whole boys. Let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. What care we though? White the minches. What care we for wind or weather? Her go, boys, every inch is safe. All right. Maybe I'll do a couple more songs and then we'll take some questions if that works.
Sounds great.
All right. I've really been enjoying songwriting, especially the past few years, because I incorporate a lot of what I love, my fandom, the sci-fi fandoms, into songs. But then I get to not just do that, but also get to make something that's appealing, hopefully, to everyone. That has a bigger appeal. It's a bigger story than just writing about a character in a song. The song that I'm going to sing for you now is one such song. It was written inspired by a TV episode called Out of Gas. My friend and I were actually watching this entire TV show, Firefly, and then writing songs about each episode that we came across. And this is one that came to be one of my favorites. Because it's a song about basically when life is throwing you struggles and challenges, and sometimes you have to take a step back and just keep breathing. You want to keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Gotta remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. It all began looking past what was to what our life could be. That's where I found so much freedom and a little serenity. An explosion knocked us to the ground, but we got back on our feet. Turn back the clock to remember why and what our life could be. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Gotta remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. Some face life's challenges with a little bit of prayer. Others turn, face it head on, that's how they take in there. Sometimes it's sad to face what's true and try a different tack. Gotta keep on breathing, there ain't a turning back. You wanna keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. You better believe that I'll fight on through space, though I might fail. I'll boost the signal through the night, even if I'm feeling frail. When at last you answer my call, we'll fix our damaged hearts. Together we'll keep on breathing, and we will never part. Keep breathing, don't you? Breathing in and out. Remember the reason, won't you? The reason you take her out. Treat her properly, she'll be with you the rest of your days. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. It all starts with breathing deeply, breathing in and out. Thanks so much. All right, I'm going to do one final song. One of the things that my earliest lessons of playing music was from a recording I heard of Elvis Presley. And he said, he was standing up there and he says, well, if I just stood up there and sang and never moved a muscle, people would say, my goodness, well, we could just listen to his records. But you got to put on a show to draw a crowd. And so one of the things that's been a big part of my music career has been trying to find ways to entertain, the getting people to sing along, telling stories. All those things are like some of the behind the scenes of the music. What's the stories behind things that bring people in to the engagement. You need a hook of some sort, something that does it, and that's how I built my entire shows. How I build my record my music a lot of times as well. You need something fun, something that people will remember, that and hopefully you'll remember something out of this performance, something that stood out. You might not. That's okay. And sometimes it takes something really fast. But I'm going to start off with a song that is an old Irish folk song. It's called a list song. The song is called Bog Down the Valley or Rattling Bog. But it's a list song. And a list song has a list of items that happen during the song. And you hear it a lot in folk music. Like this song. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. In that bog there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree, a tree in the bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. In that tree there was a limb, a rare limb, a rattling limb with a limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. On that limb there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch, the branch of the limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. On that branch there was a twig, a rare twig, a rattling twig, the twig in the branch of the limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. On that twig there was a nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest, the nest of the twig and the branch of the limb in the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. In that nest there was an egg, a rare egg, a rattling egg, the egg in the nest, the twig in the branch of the limb, the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. On that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, the bird, the egg, the nest, the twig in the branch, the limb, the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog and a bog down in the valley, oh. On that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, rattling feather, bird, the egg, and nest, the twig, branch, the tree in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley. On that feather was a flea, a rare flea, a rattling flea, and feather, bird, the egg, and nest, the branch, oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley. Oh, roll the rattling bog down in the valley. On that flea there was an eye, a rare eye, rat, and eye, flea, the branch, oh, roll the rattling bog in the valley, oh. Roll the rattling bog and the bog down in the valley, oh.
Woo! Oh, that was insanely good.
Oh, thanks so much.
Oh my gosh.
How fast can you sing it? Then you need water and oxygen.
Here, I'll give you a second to catch your breath after that, Mark, and I'll get a couple students in here to ask you a question.
Sounds good. All right.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
What is the most difficult song that you have ever played?
Difficult. Difficult. There's a song called Carolyn's Concerto. Is written by an Irish harper called Turlough Carolyn. I recorded it for a CD with my old band, Brobdingnagian Bards, and the biggest challenge at the time, I think, was that it was a lot of chord changes, which isn't that bad when you're playing, you know, again, pressing buttons and whatnot. But at the time, I think I was a lot young, not knowing nearly as much as I do now, and it was a big challenge. I found that the chord changes. So one of the challenges with the auto harp in general can be that if you basically have 21 chords that you can pretty much play. You can, you know, swap out chord bars and create new chords, but you have to pretty much bow to what the chord is. And so there was a little bit of challenge in there, and then I had a lot of chord changes working through that song. I think I was one of the instrumental pieces that had I definitely had a tablature to look at while we were recording it, and even then it took a few takes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is
Hello.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
I wanted to ask you, out of all the places you've performed, what's the favorite place you've ever been at?
Ooh. So I've played I've had a variety of venues that I've played around the world, and it's kind of hard to tell. I'm never good at favorites, because like sci-fi conventions are some of my favorite places. Dragon Con and Gen Con, and those two are some of my biggest conventions. And one of the things I love about those in particular, probably as far as favorites, is that it's where I have some of my largest audiences. And there's nothing like playing in front of a large audience where everyone knows your songs. You know, playing it in a small audience is great too, but when you have 700 people singing your songs, it's kind of a rush. I think that would probably be the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Emma.
Hi, Emma.
My question for you is, what inspired your Celtic music career?
Weird Al and no, not Weird Al. Tom Lehrer and Enya. So Tom Lehrer is actually not a Celtic musician, but he wrote a song called "The Irish Ballad." I don't know if you've ever read the Jonathan Swift's "A Modest Proposal." Jonathan, he wrote. You might have get it in English at some point, maybe not. But it was a satirical piece about how to solve the overpopulation problem of Ireland in the late 1800s, and his suggestion was to eat the babies. Total satire. So Tom Lehrer took that idea and wrote a song called "Irish Ballad." So I was raised, you know, I was born on St. Patrick's Day. Scots Irish by heritage and birth, but it wasn't until I learned that song and then, you know, had listened to some Enya, which got me into Celtic music. I didn't understand what that meant at the time, because the Celtic music, you know, the music of the Celts is sort of different from some people's interpretation of it. Enya is largely considered by the general populace as Celtic music. In the Celtic music world, she's not, because her earlier music was very Celtic, but then it sort of changed, and now I've learned a lot about, you know, fun Irish songs and instrumental Irish tunes and stuff. But that's sort of where I developed my start, and I started by listening to a CD of Irish drinking songs, and went from there.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emma.
Hello, my name is Josie, and my question for you is, have you learned any life lessons from playing the auto harp?
Yes, Josie, thank you. I love the auto harp. It definitely was much more tuned to me as an instrument. When I started playing music, I was playing guitar, and guitar is a wonderful instrument to, it's so versatile, so much you can do with it. Um, but pretty much I everyone plays guitar just about, and I realized that for me the one of the things that stood out about the auto harp, and I didn't know it at the time when I picked it up, was that it is different. It is not the typical thing, and I learned that that is something that is kind of how I roll. My entire life has been about doing something slightly different, whether it's playing the auto harp, playing traditional Irish music on an auto harp, playing traditional Irish music and rewriting them about cats on an auto harp, or going all full on sci-fi and such. I learned that you don't have to be, in order to be successful as a musician, to make a living as a musician, you don't have to do it the way everyone else does it. You don't have to play in clubs when you start your rock band. You can find other ways. You find Renaissance festivals or sci-fi conventions, or playing online. There are so many ways of approaching things, and definitely I feel like the auto harp has been a great contributor in helping me figure that out. So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Hi, my name is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
What led you to develop your podcast?
The podcast originally it was designed basically to promote my band. I had podcasting had just started. It was 2004 when I first found podcasting, when it started. I think it might have started actually in 2003. But I heard about it. I was like, this is intriguing. I want to figure this out. Back in college, I had this brief desire to be a DJ, and I thought, that'd be kind of sort of fun. I could get up there and I could create my place. Plus, I'll be able to promote myself. The promotion of the self was less so, because I realized that there was a need, a desire, a want to hear Celtic music. And sort of like me, when I was living in Austin, Texas, there was no place. If you wanted to listen to Celtic music, you had to wait till Sunday, like at noon or something, or catch it. There might have been a 10 a.m. on Tuesdays that you could listen to some music on the radio, and that was it. And I was like, this people all around the world want to hear Celtic music, and they don't have access. And that's been a great contributor for helping me grow it, and it's just been incredible. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Mark. It's John Pratt again. Hey, I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Is it possible to interpret the Star Wars theme on the auto harp? Has that ever been done before?
It has been done. Okay, that's more of a Luke's theme, I think, but
I think the only problem with the auto harp is when you hear the auto harp, you just want to hear more,
I love it. I love it. It really is a tune to me.
Well, this has just been an incredible hour. Now, can we check out your podcast today still?
Yes. So you can find it all at kiltfather.net. That'll take you to all my podcasts, all my music, everything. CLETfather.net. And it is it's been fun. You can find it all over. It is downloadable through all the podcatchers online, and you can search for my name or just search for Celtic music, and it'll show up very easily.
Well, I tell you, one of these days, Mark, we're going to have to try and talk you into coming to visit little old Greensburg, Indiana one day.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would love it.
We'd love it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mr. Marc Gunn.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. It was great, Mark.
Thank you very much. I'll take care. Sláinte.